Hi, Sawatdeekhrap. A very good afternoon to everyone who are joining with us today, and welcome to SEAQIL Podcast Live, episode 14. The SEAQIL Podcast Live is broadcasted every Tuesday on the second and also on the fourth week of the month at 3 to 4 p.m. Western Indonesian time. So be sure to watch every episode of it. And it is my humble pleasure to greet the audiences to all the language teachers in Southeast Asia who have joined not only in the Zoom, but also in the YouTube channel of SEAQIL. My name is Ati Sumiati, and I'm going to be the host for today's sessions of the episode 14. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, dear language teachers, in August 2022, SEAQIL will have two series of the same theme, learning Southeast Asian's national languages as foreign language, Thai and Khmer. And for the first sessions, today's episode, we will discuss specifically on learning Thai language. What are the chances for Asians community? Wow. And I'm sure this topic is going to be really interesting. And to talk more about this further, I have with me today our native speaker, as our resource person also, Dr. Kiat Tep Chuai Suk. Good afternoon, Pen Yang Raibang, Doctor.
Oh, wow. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here with us this afternoon. Okay, so today we are so pleased to welcome Dr. Kiat, a very special guest speaker coming all the way from Thailand. And Dr. Kiat is a director and also he is an instructor in Centers for Thai as Foreign Language, or we call it as CTFL. Faculty of Arts, Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. Dr. Kiat's specialty is in teaching Thai as foreign language, and he is also a specialist in linguistics. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further talking about today's issue, we would like to kindly ask Dr. Kiat to greet the audiences, probably in a little bit in Thai, Doctor?
In Thai, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. สวัสดีครับทุกคนสวัสดีครับขอบคุณครับขอบคุณที่มาฟังSEAQIL Vodcast Live วันนี้ครับ
Yeah, thank you very
Okay.
much, Doctor.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
So doctors, your audiences who are joining today, not only in the Zoom, but also we do have the audiences in the YouTube Live. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have joined with us in the Zoom, you will later on receive e-certificate and have the opportunity to receive a special gift or a special reward from SEAQIL for the best questions posed during the sessions. So therefore, during Dr. Kiat's presentations later on, you may prepare the questions and make it as best as possible. So who knows that your questions might be later on chosen as the best questions. And again, I would like to remind you to fill the attendance list, which link later on will be shared by the committee. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to our today's agenda. Wow, this is a very special episode. What is so special in today's episodes? So Dr. Kiat, who is our native speaker and also our resource persons today, will later on expose on the National's policy on the obligations for foreigners to use Thai language. And he also will talk about a brief history on the teachings of Thai language, and particularly on the chances of learning Thai for the Southeast Asia's community. Okay, and what available resources to learn the national language of Thai as foreign language? Wow, those are so many issues to talk about. So these issues are really engaging and also fascinating to be discussed with later on with Dr. Kiat's presentations. I would like to also remind the audience that probably if you do have questions, you may post your questions in the Q&A box, because after the sessions of Dr. Kiat presentations, I would like to read out your questions, and later on Dr. Kiat will answer all of your questions. So thank you. Okay, so Dr. Kiat, shall we begin with the presentations? Are you ready?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to directly ask Dr. Kiat to share your ideas and the topics about the issue. Dr. Kiat?
Thank you very much, Ati. Sawatdeekhrap. Hello again, everyone. In Indonesian, is it selamat?
Selamat sore.
Selamat sore.
Selamat sore.
Oh, because it's in the afternoon, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Then, good afternoon again, all participants on Zoom, all Thai teachers and learners who are watching live podcast on YouTube. So, and thank you, SEAQIL podcast live again for having me as the very first speaker of this special episode. It's my honor, I can say. So as the host have kindly introduced me, I am Kiat Thepchoisuk from CTFL, or the Center for Thai as a Foreign Language, Faculty of Arts, Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. Okay, let me just introduce myself a bit more. Okay, so apart from teaching Thai to foreigners as a lecturer, I also do research on teaching Thai as a foreign language. Okay, and I also like manage the program of the center as a director. So today, let me share my experience and knowledge to you in the topic of learning Thai language. What are the chances for Asian community? Okay, so I believe that we'll also gain valuable information from the discussion at the later part of the talk today. Okay, so feel free to discuss, everyone. Then I have separated my presentation into 5 parts, just like Ati just kindly introduced for me. So first, I will talk about national policy and focus on like some application for foreigners to use Thai, to use Thai language in Thailand. And next, I just briefly talk about history of teaching Thai as a foreign language. Like inside the country and outside of the country. Okay. And next, I will present some like chances, the chances for learning Thai as a foreign language in Southeast Asia, especially. Okay. And I will talk about how government promote teaching Thai as a foreign language and how they support higher education and Thai language teachers. Okay. And lastly, I will give you some available resource to learn Thai as a foreign language. Okay. So first, everyone, you ready? Let's see. Let's start with Thailand's policy about national language. So this policy was drafted by the Royal Institute in 2006. So the Royal Institute, if you wonder, so the Royal Institute is the National Academy of of Thailand. They are in charge of academic work of the government. So they form 6 subcommittees to research the language situation in Thailand and submit a policy that would benefit the country and its people. Okay, so the policy that we focus on today, as I told you, so there are 6, but we focus on the first and the 5th one, which is Thai language policy for Thai students and Thai nationals, including foreigners who learn Thai as a foreign language, which aim at modifying the Thai language teaching style towards more like natural way of teaching languages. Okay, and the 5th one, which talks about language policy for migrants seeking employment in Thailand, which aim at helping promote the development of Thai language skills for communication, living and basic rights for migrant workers who come to Thailand for work. So these 2 policies are very important. Okay, and after the policy was approved by former prime ministers, they authorized the Royal Institute to develop a strategic implementation plan. As the key concept of the strategic planning is in the next slide. They state that the planning is meant to create like sustainable peace by using language as a tool. So the concept, so overall concept is like language for sustainable peace and multilingual or multicultural society. Okay, so the aim of the plan is to increase awareness of Thai as a national and to increase awareness of local languages too, and also highlight English and other foreign languages like neighboring languages as being important in the global economy. And also this plan was meant to help all Thai people, okay, regardless of ethnicity or disabilities. I mean, like everyone, okay, to use language as a tool to improve their education and employment potentials. So we can see everyone, we can see that the government wants to use language as a tool to like strengthen and stabilize Thai society by supporting their people to learn and use Thai as the national language, and also to use local dialects as keys to like identity of ethnic minorities, and to like promote culture, like different cultures from different regions of the country. Okay, and at the same time they also support their people to learn foreign language and languages of neighboring countries to foster good relationships and commerce too. Okay, as for foreigner, in fact, there is no like strict or like strict obligation for using Thai in Thailand. I mean, there's no like rules, or there's no like strict rule that you have to use Thai everywhere, especially in like government like having government service, or like going to the hospital, for example. Okay, because actually Thai people can communicate using like other languages too. But the government still wants to support like people, especially foreigners, to learn Thai, because they see the importance, the importance like reason, the important reason to support their education of Thai language is mostly because of working. Okay, some of them are migrants who come to Thailand and seek for jobs, and they need to use Thai to communicate when they work and live in the country as a tool to access fundamental rights and services. I mean, if you can communicate using like national language, you will understand more about the rights and the service that you should have, and you can communicate to with local people like better, right? And also there are also like foreigners who live outside Thailand who wants to learn Thai because they want to communicate with Thai people and doing their business or investment. So the government see that supporting their Thai language education leads to improvement of the economic of the country too. Okay, so actually before the government like supporting learning Thai as a foreign language and launch the policies, Thai language has been like an important language to foreigners for decades, as we will see from the brief history on the screen here. So the brief history of teaching Thai as a foreign language like have been researched by many Thai researchers. Okay, so from the research about the history of teaching Thai as a foreign language, it has stated, that it has started around like 1950s, when Thai language is important as a tool for like military, and like at that time there was a war, right? Like psychological war, and when Thailand is like we used to be like base of like military from foreign country, right? Since then, Thai language has been researched and taught in foreign countries, especially in United States. But mostly Thai language at that time it was taught by non-native Thai, non-native teachers. Okay, so later in the age of globalization and the expansion of industrial factories from the Western country to the East, around 1987. Okay, actually that was the year that I was born. There were like several universities in Thailand started to create a program to teach Thai to foreigners. And when Asian economic system started to grow, it was the age of teaching Thai in neighboring countries. And there was much improvement of Thai as a foreign language research and curriculum in Thailand. Okay, so after like 2007, around like 2007, there has been great expansion of Thai language and culture centers. Not just language that we teach, but we also like teach like culture too, because we want to spread not just language but culture to foreigners too. Okay, at that time, there has been like after that time, I mean, there has been great expansion of Thai language and culture centers. Not even in Thailand, but also in like many Asian countries, as it is like one of like the proactive policies of the government to prepare for joining ASEAN community. Okay, so nowadays we can see that Thai language is taught like everywhere, right? So you can learn Thai from Thai teachers in Thai universities or schools, or you can find a like short-term program or long-term program in foreign countries. Okay, and especially like this day, especially like after the spreading of COVID-19, many Thai language centers, universities, schools, or even like private tutors, like they have like provided online courses so that students can learn Thai from anywhere, right? Okay, so that's the brief history that I want to show you. So next, in Asian country, I want to show you like the chances for learning Thai as a foreign language. Especially like in ASEAN. So in ASEAN country, I mean, there are many countries and universities that provide Thai language programs. From what I have researched, so I have found it like in many Singapore, like university in Singapore, in Myanmar, in Cambodia, Malaysia, Philippines, and also Vietnam. Right? And as for Indonesia, what I found is like even there is no formal study program in the university that open Thai language program yet by today. There are like short courses provided in many universities, and there is also collaboration with Thailand's university to send like their exchange students to Thailand, just to learn Thai and other academic knowledge. Okay, you can correct me later if you know some program or curriculum in Indonesia. Okay, when we are at the part of discussion. Okay, so actually apart from the university program, the chances for learning Thai actually they are everywhere, right? As like there are international schools and private tutors, not only in Thailand but also in like foreign countries, like neighboring countries too. And most of the program are now online, as I told you. Just like my center, which is now providing online courses, so that you can learn from like experienced native Thai teachers, which is like this course is becoming like more and more popular. Like actually some of our course they are like more popular when they become like online, because we just knew that like there are like lots of students and like foreigners who want to learn Thai from their country, but they cannot come to Thailand because of like some like I don't know, some conditions. So can you show can you turn to the next slide, please? Thank you. So I just want to show you these are two main online courses from my center that we have. It's called like intensive Thai. Okay, this time is for advertisement, right? So we have like intensive Thai online course. Actually, we have run this course like for 2 years already. And also we have like communicative Thai for beginners course, which actually we also like run this course for 2 years, and we plan to continue this course even like the COVID end. Okay, and we also like plan to reopen on campus course too, along with maintaining like online courses to provide more chances to learn Thai for everyone who is like in country or abroad. Okay, so now I would like to show you some video of the atmosphere of having like having like learning languages online.
So 6 a.m. repeat after me please 6 โมงเช้า
6 โมงเช้า
ขอบคุณค่ะ thank you
Please help me
มวยไทยเป็นกีฬาต่อสู้หรือป้องกันตัว
Thank you
แม่น้ำของเรานั้นก็เหมือนกับพระเจ้าเรามีความรู้สึกเศร้าเมื่อเรารู้ว่าเรากำลังฆ่าพระเจ้าของเราเอง
My dear ขอบคุณค่ะในการแสดงความคิดเห็นคนเขียนคนนี้แสดงความคิดเห็นส่วนตัวว่า
Repeat after me please ใช้เวลาขอบคุณมากค่ะ
Every time you see these letters you pronounce with the rising tone ขอ Okay now pronounce together ขอเก่งมากขอ
อาจารย์ไปตำนานยังไงครับ
อาจารย์ขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ไปทำงานครับ
very good ขอบคุณครับอาจารย์ไปทำงานยังไงครับอาจารย์ขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ไปทำงานครับ Thank you very much for joining
ขอบคุณมากค่ะถ้าไม่มีนะคะก็ขอบคุณมากค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะเก่งมากขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you very much. So what I have just what I have shown you is the atmosphere of like having online lessons. So these are like intensive Thai. This is like intensive Thai course, okay, which we have like level from like beginning to advanced, from like complete beginner to students who can like communicate like freely, okay, in Thai, and they can also like speaking. They can speak, they can listen, they can write, and they can read Thai alphabets. So that's the online course, and I have also like the pictures to show you how our on-campus course is like too in the next slide. Okay. So I also plan like to reopen this course. Can you turn to the next slide, please? Thank you. So this is the course before. Actually, it's before COVID. Before COVID. So we used to come to the university and learn Thai. Actually, there's slightly like there is some difference between like having an online course and having an on-campus course. So okay, we might discuss about this later. So let me continue with the next topic. As we can see that like Thailand's higher education and language institutes like has been increasing in number and improving in their quality from my brief history about teaching Thai as a foreign language. So one source of support is from Thailand's government, as they have stated in the Thailand 4.0 vision. So this is like the vision to drive the country's economy. Okay, that they want how like one day to drive economy of the country is that they want to promote teaching Thai as a foreign language in many aspects. As you can see from the slide here, we have they plan to promote and organize Thai language programs and curriculums, and they also wants to provide and develop Thai as a foreign language teachers, and they also want to support network collaboration between Thailand's higher education institute and ASEAN or other country higher education institute in standardizing Thai language programs and curriculum. They just want to make the curriculum to be standard everywhere, just to make it simple for learners. Okay, and my center CTFL actually we has also received support from Thailand Foundation to create online open courses for public learners. So I am responsible person for this course too. So I want to show you this course as available resource to learn Thai as a foreign language. Can you turn to the next one, please? So these courses are on these courses are on MOOC. MOOC is called Jula MOOC. You know MOOC, everyone? MOOC is massive online open course. So they are online course for public, not only for Chulalongkorn University student, but everyone can join this course from anywhere. Okay, so we have now we have 2 courses that the center have created. So the first one is called Thai on Campus, which we teach expression, Thai expression, which are important for being university students. Okay, and another course is called Communicative Thai for Foreigners. This course is it was supported by Thailand Foundation, and these courses are now being translated into 10 languages. Okay, so my next plan is to translate this course into ASEAN language, ASEAN languages like Khmer, Indonesia, Malaysia, for example. Okay, I have some example of the course too. So these are pictures that I have captured from the course, and the next one is the example of the course that is translated into many languages. So we will have the way the alternative way to teach Thai to foreigners, not just by using English as a media language, but we can teach Thai using their native language too. For Korean, we might teach Thai using Korean language. For Chinese, we can teach Thai using Chinese, for example. Okay, so we have complete, almost complete this one. So as just to end my presentation in the first part, I just want to show the example that the trailer of this online course to you, so that you can see the picture and how it's like.
Kin man tit นื้อกินเพือกทิดฟันกินทั้งมันกินทั้งเพือกทิดทั้งเนื้อทิดทั้งฟันชาวฝาดฝักพัดเย็นฝาดฝักผัดชาวเคี้ยวคำเช้าชาวข้าวคำคำ
Are you interested in Thailand? Perhaps you're thinking of visiting or working in the country. Wouldn't it be great then if you could understand the Thai language? We're here to help. We offer a Thai communications course that will help you understand Thai pronunciation and simple sentences that you can use in everyday life. Because communication is so important, understanding Thai will allow you to get to know Thailand and its people in more depth. Whether you're a prospective visitor, an expat living in the country, or even a fan of Thai movies, series, and music.
Thailand is rich in its culture, beautiful nature, as well as business and investment opportunities. Visitors are touched by the vibrant lifestyle, great food, warm climate, and most importantly, the friendly and hospitable nature of the Thai people. So, if you'd like to make your time in Thailand more meaningful, then this Thai language course is designed to enable you to communicate in Thai in no time. So, please enjoy.
We've got a bunch of content for you coming right up. First of all, we're going to get you acquainted with the tones and basic sentence structures in Thai so that you can begin your lesson the right way. When you meet a new friend, you'll be able to say hi and get to know them. When you encounter something you're curious about, you'll be able to ask what it is. When you go shopping, you'll be able to know the price of each item and pay according to the amount. If you're chatting with a friend and have a question, you'll be able to ask. When you go shopping and find an item that you like, you'll be able to ask the seller for the price. When you find a piece of clothing that you like, but feel that the price is too high, you'll be able to bargain with the seller. When you apply for a job or go to work, you'll be able to convey what you're capable of doing and can ask for help or permission. When you order packages, you'll be able to give directions on where you live and which room you're in. When you go to a restaurant, you'll be able to order food and convey the kind of taste that you're looking for. When you want to go somewhere, you'll be able to ask for directions and get there without getting lost.
Wouldn't you like to know how I can help you with all these things? Well, I'll tell you all about it. In this lesson, I'm going to explain basic vocabulary, sounds, tones, sentence structures, and how to form sentences in Thai. Sounds fun, right? If you'd like to have fun learning Thai with us, let's begin.
Okay, that's all for my presentation for the first part. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Kiat. Kopken Ka. Is it correct?
Kopkun Krap. Yes,
Kopkun
yes.
Kap. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No,
Thank you very much.
Kopkun Krap is for like male speaker.
Oh, I
think you
see.
said it correctly. Kopkun Ka.
Kopkun Ka. Okay, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Kiat, for a very enlightening and also a very fruitful presentations. And you have discussed to us from A to Z all about the Thai language, and in particular, referring to those issues that we have discussed previously. And then I'm sure that we are so grateful that some of the issues that I have mentioned previously are already being addressed in your presentations, Doctor. Thank you very much. Okay, so if I may gather from your presentations, Doctor, is that the chances are really high for all the language teachers or for the Asians community to be able to learn Thai language due to the availability of resources, and also not to mention a very strong support from the governments of Thailand. And at the very last of your presentations, you also mentioned that it is highly recommended and also possible to learn the Thai language before setting foot in Thailand. Don't forget about that. Okay. Okay.
That's
so
right.
yeah. So Doctor, can we have next sessions for a little bit of discussions referring again to your explanations previously? It was such a very interesting material. Okay, so Dr. Kiat, based from your own experience in teaching Thai to foreigners, apart from working, is there any other reasons that foreigners perhaps wants to learn Thai language? What do you think, Doctor?
Yes, of course. Let's take like my students or like customers of the center as examples. I would say that mostly they still like want to learn Thai for working, but some of them they just want to learn Thai but not for working. Some of them wants to learn Thai for like continue studying, for example, like master degree, or like just like for tourism. They just come to Thailand to travel, and they just want to have like good experience. So why not you learn Thai? Because they know that talking to local people using native language that will be like more natural. right? And many of them are like people that come to Thailand to retire. That's very interesting because like the number of people who come to Thailand to have like retire life are like getting more and more like increase, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. So if it's so it is not only for working, because there are so many reasons that people wants to or foreigners want to learn Thai. Well, Doctor, if it's for me myself, I really do want to learn Thai, but my reason is only because so I can understand the ASMR videos. ASMR videos, because I like watching YouTube channels that about ASMR. That many videos are coming from Thailand, so I really do want to learn Thailand to understand what are the kinds of foods and what is the descriptions that they describes in their video. So
you're
that's
welcome,
really
Ati. Yes.
okay. Thank you. So, Doctor, talking about the many reasons of people wants to learn Thai. I'm also growing my interest in learning Thai because I previously said I like watching ASMR videos also. So doctors, in your perspective, how is the trend for the Southeast Asian country on learning Thai language? So how is the trend, doctors, nowadays?
Okay. I can tell you the trend using examples from students in my center also.
Okay.
As the number of like ASEAN students is getting more like increased to like they're like more like increase in this past like 5 years. I think the reason is because of the soft power, you know, like as Thai like movies or Thai like dramas or series become more and more popular. So we gain more like students from like ASEAN country, especially what surprised me is like we got like students from Indonesia and Philippines, the most among Asian or like ASEAN country, you know.
Okay, thank you very much, Doctor. So you can say that nowadays the trends of the Thai language being learned, being studied are so open wide for all the Southeastern community. Thank you. So again, doctors, in your presentations earlier, you also mentioned that the governments really support the ideas of teaching Thai by them creating this kind of a strategic planning. One of the aims is to raise awareness of the Thai as the national language. Okay, so doctor, do you think that foreigners who comes to Thailand have to use Thai when having public service also?
Actually, as I mentioned, they try to like raise awareness as for Thai language as like national language. But actually, like there's no like restriction for foreigners like to use Thai like everywhere. You know, like for example, like going to the hospital. You don't have to use like
Thai language.
Thai always.
Okay.
We can understand like English, but to me, in my opinion, to know Thai language, you will have more chance to know your fundamental rights, and services like you can have in Thailand, right? You can understand more about like people and like about those services and rights.
Exactly, doctors. I totally agree with you. So it is as another way of saying that you are blended easily with the people around you if you learn the language.
Correct.
Okay. So for the audiences who are joining with us in the Zoom, do not forget to kindly put your questions or post your questions in the Q&A box below. Because we're going to read out your questions, and please make your question as best as possible, because who knows that you might be selected as the best questions. Okay, so doctors, should we again have a little bit of discussion? So
yes, sure.
This is about, it seems to me, based from my own experience of listening to so many videos of Thai language on YouTube, that Thai language is a little bit difficult to learn because the existence of a very complex orthographic. So, doctors, based on this difficulty, do you have any opinion or suggestions at what ideal age for foreigners to learn Thai language?
Okay. From what I know and from what I have read or researched, Actually, the ideal age for people who learn languages, not just Thai, is like young age, right? From around like 5 to 15. Yeah, like the older, when people getting older, like their potential to learn languages maybe like decrease, right? But
yeah, exactly.
but from my experience, if you are like adult and you like put efforts, you can still do it. No worry, everyone. So okay, I would say that the ideal age, maybe you might start from the like very like young, very young age. But if you are like, I don't want to say you are old, but okay, if you are older than like teenagers, okay, you might have to put like more effort. But you can do it. I believe that you can do it. Even like Thai language is okay. They said that one is one of the most difficult language in terms of writing. But yeah, I have many students who are like successful. Then why can you cannot do it? I think everyone can do it.
Yes, exactly. Totally agree again with you, doctors. Well, so it should start at the very early age, a very young age, because as you're getting older, probably you have this kind of not disability, I would say, weaknesses in remembering or about language studies.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That happened to me too.
Yeah, thank you very much, doctor, for your answer. Okay, so we still have a little bit of discussions. Previously, again, referring to your presentations, which is I find it really interesting, doctors. Again, when you say that learning a language is not impossible, so everything is possible. So in specifically in learning the Thai language, what do you suggest as the most important skill to focus when you want to start Thai language?
Okay. Oh wow, that's very interesting question. So to me, it's speaking and listening, because they are the skills that can make you like survive.
Yeah.
You know, like when you go to foreign country, for example, like Thailand, if you can understand what people say, right? Even you cannot read or write, I think you can like communicate with them, and then you can survive. Especially like if you can speak, you can tell like what you want, right? So to me, it's like listening to understand, and then speaking to tell like what you want. Those two are like skills that I think you should focus first. And actually, we also like use this concept for the program of the center too. I mean, we start from listening and speaking first, and then we will add writing and reading Thai alphabets in the next level.
I see. Exactly, doctor. So speaking and listening skills should go first being studied instead of the other two skill. So this is quite easy because you can access the so many resources to for the speaking. Again, I would like to recommend the use of YouTube, because when I click Thai language and bam, you have the so many kinds of videos how to learn the Thai language. So it is really easy to access those kind of sources. Okay, so again, Dr. Kiat, at the very end of your presentations, you also mentioned some things about the difficulties of teaching Thai online versus offline. Okay, so I don't know, probably did you have any opinion or suggestions? How is it that the learning online and in person different? What are the advantages or disadvantages of the learning online?
Of course, there are like advantages and disadvantages, and there are like difference in terms of like teachers and learners. I think the advantages for both like teacher and learners are like you can do it from anywhere, right? You can like access to the class from anywhere and at any time, even like time difference. You can learn Thai like with like Thai teachers, right? But to me, like the disadvantages of teaching Thai online may be about I was concerning about like maybe like teaching like culture, because like teaching culture sometimes you might need to see the teacher like face to face, right? Like how can I teach you to do Thai dance, or how can I teach you to cook Thai dishes, right? If we cannot meet like face to face, or maybe it's better, and I think to meet face to face, one of disadvantages might be you can I mean one of advantages. I mean you can you can like hear you can hear and get like prompt feedback from the teachers. I mean the teacher will hear you or like can like correct you like more accurately, you know, with the pronunciation.
So directly give you the feedback. So instead of the online, it is really hard for you to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Kiat. Dr. Kiat, so I have gathered so many questions coming from the audiences.
Okay.
So I'm so terribly sorry if I probably not going to cover all the questions because our time is strictly limited. So I'm just going to read some of the questions and later on we will have a discussion on it. Okay, so the first question is from Ibu Fitri Alifa from Institut Teknologi 10 November. So her question is it difficult to learn Thai? Should we learn about the words or the script first? Which one should we learn first, Doctor?
Okay, if you ask me, is it difficult? I will like encourage you. That is not difficult. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. I have the most like very beginning course of my center is like it's called like communicative type of beginners. So these course are just 40 hours for the first level, and within these 40 hours you can like communicate using like daily expression, you know, like for example like ordering food, like giving directions, introducing yourself, talking about your family, surrounding like things, for example. I think yeah, it's quite easy and take like short time to do that. And if you ask me, should we learn about the words or the script?
Yeah,
should we learn the word by the script or alphabet first? Just like I have discussed in the previous discussion. I think no need, because if we focus on like speaking and listening, we also can like communicate too, right? I think the skills to communicate is just like speaking and listening. Writing maybe and reading Thai alphabets maybe like additional skills that you can add them later, right? Just if you want to like master like in Thai language, you can do it later.
Okay, so one thing for sure, don't be afraid. So you don't have to learn the script first, just as long as you understand about the words through the speaking and also through the listening part. Okay, so thank you very much for the answer, doctors. Moving on to our second questions from the audience, from Ibu Rina Herlina from SMAN 1 Pagaden. She asked how to make a language, especially Thai and or Bahasa, become internationally spoken language.
Wow. Okay, it sounds very difficult, right? But I don't think it's not possible, Ati, because we can see that like some of the countries or languages, they try to drive their language and they try to like promote their language so that people from all over the world know their language and wants to learn and want to like speak their language, right? So if you ask me how, I think one of the best way is to promote them through like soft power, you know, like for example movies, music, and like so on. Now there are many ways, but through movies, like just to create like interest by using soft power, I think it is the most important and one of the most effective ways to do it.
Okay, doctor. So it is not impossible. It is possible to make Thai or Bahasa to become internationally spoken language. Okay. So again, I'm terribly sorry, doctor. You have so many questions in here actually, because we're so very interested in your material. Next question is from Ibu Istiqomah Nurrahmawati from UIN Raden Intan Lampung. Her question is, this year we have some new students from Thailand at UIN Raden Intan Lampung, doctor.
Yes.
Therefore, in order to approach them nicely, I would like to learn Thai a little bit. My
Oh.
question, is there any sources or recommendations that I can use to learn Thai in a moderate and easier way? Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much for the question. Actually, as Ati mentioned, YouTube is like the best source that's like there are varieties of contents.
Yeah.
You can like search for the contents that you want to learn. Okay, and actually my courses on Jula Move, communicative type of learners, they're also the way to use Thai to communicate with like anyone, it can be like anyone. And I also like teach the way to use Thai like politely, like and nicely too. Okay, so you can try log in to Lamuk and then try to see the contents there.
I see. Okay, so we do have so many resources actually. In particular, nowadays we do have Twitter, we have podcasts, we have YouTube, we have so many online language learning channels. Okay, thank you, doctors. I missed this one questions. Okay, doctors, the next question is coming from Bapak Iwan Syahputra, but terribly sorry he didn't mention the institutions. His question is, what kinds of benefits would we have if we study Thai, since it is not a first spoken language in ASEAN?
Okay. That's very interesting question. What benefits should we have? Okay. Actually, I think even like Thai language or like maybe not the very first options. I don't know if you want to learn language, what language will you think of from ASEAN? So, but I believe that it's it's still like interesting language to learn. Because if you see like our like commerce or maybe our like products, I don't know, it's sent like to everywhere in the world. Like to China, we have like the goods that we have export to China, to Western country. Okay, and then I think there are many products and business that we like collaborate with Thailand too, right? Then I think to learn Thai, I think you might benefit. The benefit you might have is you will have like more advantage when you do like business with Thai people, right? And to communicate with Thai when you come to Thailand to travel, as Thailand is one of the best tourist spots to travel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. So probably again, one of the benefit, if you want to go to the market and buy something, probably if you use Thai language, you will have a discount for the items.
Yeah, you want me to teach you the expression?
Oh, sure. In one or two sentences, expressions, perhaps, Doctor.
It's easy. You just say "lot dai mai."
Lok dai mai.
Chai, can you discount?
Oh, can you discount? Lok dai mai.
Lok dai mai.
Lok dai mai. Okay, thank you very much. So that's one of the expressions that I'm going to keep whenever I will go to Thailand one day. Okay, so we still have one or two questions again, doctors. Terribly sorry for this. This is from Honesty. So the name is Honesty. Wow. From SMAN 1 Kejuruan Muda Aceh. Her questions, she has two questions, Doctor. The first question is, in your opinion, which part is the most difficult to learn Thai language? Is it the grammar? Is it the pronunciations or the writing of the alphabet? The second question is, what was the funniest thing while you were teaching Thai language?
Okay. Wow. These are very interesting questions. Yeah. So I would say that the first to answer to the first question, it depends. It depends on like where you are from and like what is your native speaker, what is your native language? I mean, because I found that like Westerner who start to learn Thai, they might find that our grammar is easy. Because our grammar is like more simple compared to their language. We have like no tense, no agreement. We don't have to move the components in the sentence. I mean, it's just like it's just like order. Its order is like very simple. But for Westerner, they might be not familiar to the pronunciation, especially like the tones, for example. So for the Westerner, they might find that the pronunciation is very hard, but like the grammar might be easy. But for some native speaker, for example, like Chinese, they might find that the pronunciation is easy because like they have tones, and Thai language have tones too. Then they might spend like short time to learn to master like Thai sound system, for example. But from the statistic and from like opinions of my students, most of them said that the writing is the most difficult thing to do. Yes. And another question, right? Another question. What is
the funniest experience that you have had during the teachings of Thai language to foreigners?
The funniest experience? I mean, I used to teach Thai to foreigners, like in both like basic level and advanced level. One of my course that I have teach is like learning Thai through songs. Learning Thai through songs. I found that many of them know more about Thai song. Like they know Thai song more than me. And most of them knows even like to say or to talk about like bad words or rude words from the entertainment media, you know. And yeah, I just like surprised, like when and where did you learn that? But it's quite funny. It's quite funny.
Yeah, but they know more than you.
Yes.
Okay, so doctors, we still have times for the one more questions probably. Our last questions from Ibu Ida from University of Muhammadiyah Surabaya. Her question is, what is if previously you have shared with us the funniest moment or experience that you have had during the teachings of Thai, Ibu Ida asks you, what is the most difficult part when you are teaching Thai language to foreigners?
Yes. The most difficult part maybe because I'm a native speaker of the language. I would say that the aspect of the native speaker to language to compared to like the foreigners like aspects, they are different. Sometimes they ask me like, how are these two words different? And sometimes like I was like stunning because I was stunned because I never think about this issue, or I never thought about like how to explain this kind of like grammar or like this kind of like difference, you know. Then I would say that the most difficult part for teaching native languages is to be a native language like speaker itself, you know. So but I think there's the way to resolve this problem. That is like to do more research or like try to learn more about like linguistics, for example. If you know linguistics, you can use them as explanation to like many like topics, you know, like syntax, semantics. How are these two words different? I mean, in terms of the position too, can we move these words into the first position of the sentence? Then you might have to think about that, or you might have to do some test or do some research, or you might have to do, you might have to see the statistic from like all the characteristic from like universal languages, or maybe you might have to know like linguistic. I think that's important.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Doctor. That is the end of our sessions for the discussions. And one thing that I would like to kindly highlight is the knowledge of linguistic is also important in studying not only Thai language, perhaps, but also any other kinds of language in the world. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Kiap, for the sharing and also the discussions, which I am very much convinced are really insightful and also fruitful for us. Not only as the language teachers, Doctor, but also as the Asians community who wants to learn Thai language. We have been equipped with the knowledge and on learning Thai language, and hopefully this information will contribute in our learning of Thai language. And who knows that probably you want to go to Thailand one day. And I'm truly sorry, but the time is really limited for our very engaging discussions for today, and our sincere apology to all the audiences whose questions are still left unanswered. Okay, so hopefully we have the opportunity to meet again sometimes in the future. But Doctor, before we end today's episode of the podcast, I would like to kindly request for Dr. Kiat's closing statement.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. I say kun Ati, you know how to I say kun, yeah, it's different. Kun is like how to address people like politely.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Like I call you kun Ati because like I'm saying like Miss Ati. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for coming today, and I hope that you get like benefits from my talk today as like Thai language teachers, or maybe Thai language learners, or if you haven't started learning Thai, I hope that what I have shared today will create interest for you in learning Thai. Okay, and one day I think it's important because one day if we learn like I think learning neighboring countries languages will make us closer. So like for me as a Thai teacher, I also want to learn like ASEAN languages because after joining like ASEAN, I believe that one day we will become like closer, and then knowing how to speak their languages. I think it will benefit you a lot. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Kiat, for the closing statement. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to fill in the attendance list, which the link has been shared by the committee in the chat box, chat room. Would you please kindly fill that? Because you will have the e-certificate later on. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our podcast. And again, I would like to inform you that those of you who have joined us via Zoom, you will automatically, again, if you have filled in the attendance list, you will have the e-certificate later on through the links that has been shared by the committee. And also as promised in my previous words at the very beginning of this podcast, that we will select the best question for today's episode. And the selected participant with the best questions will be contacted later on by the committee through the email address that you wrote down in the attendance list. Okay, so we would like to remind you that all are free of charge, meaning that including the delivery of the gift reward from SEAQIL to the participant chosen for the best questions. Okay, so another information that I would like to share with you. Don't forget to join our next episode of Vodcast on August 30, 2022, the same hour at 3 to 4 p.m. Western Indonesian time, still under the same theme, but for the next episode, we will talk on learning Khmer language, when and how to start, with Mr. Sreng Kim Srun, a native speaker from Cambodia. Okay, so we will dig deeper later on into the world of learning Khmer language, finding out what are the obstacles and also the challenges. So be sure to set your calendar and make a reminder to be there with us again. And if you missed today's sessions of the podcast, don't worry. You can always visit our YouTube channel, Simeo Kitabsin Language, and watch the rerun. And don't forget also to kindly follow SEAQIL social medias through Facebook, Instagram, and also Twitter to keep you updated with the SEAQIL latest informations and agenda for the various activities. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Kiat. Sawatdeekhrap. Is it correct? If you want to end, Sawatdeekhrap again. Okay.
Sawatdeekhrap, correct.
Sawatdeekhrap. Okay. Thank you very much for all the audiences in the Zoom and also in the YouTube channel live for your attentions. Look forward to serving you in the next episode, and truly sorry for any shortcomings during me hosting the session. Thank you. Cheer and take care. Bye-bye.